History is filled with tales of kings and generals, despots and freedom fighters. They are remembered because they took a stand. One such outstanding figure in the annals of history is Charles de Gaulle. Charles de Gaulle was a French military officer at the outbreak of the Second World War. With Nazi Germany at the height of its power, Charles de Gaulle played a pivotal role in winning the Second World War due to his many years of military experience, no-nonsense attitude, and rallying much of France to his side. This made him a force capable of fighting Hitler's regime and proved vital for the Third Reich's defeat. Born in the city of Lille in northern France, Charles-André Joseph-Marie de Gaulle was part of a deeply religious family of Catholics. His family was full of intellectuals and nationalists who helped shape him into the man he would be in the years to come. After receiving an education at Saint-Cyr, the premier French military academy equivalent to West Point, de Gaulle, along with tens of thousands of fellow Frenchmen, fought in the First World War. After the war, Charles de Gaulle continued to serve in the military. During this time, he wrote The Army of the Future, calling for France to modernize its armed forces with mechanized weapons such as tanks, something the Germans did, but the French did not. Only a colonel at the outbreak of the Second World War, Charles de Gaulle fought hard during the German invasion, gaining some of the few victories of the Allies during the Battle of France. While the government prepared to surrender, de Gaulle instead proposed a retreat to the French colonies in Africa. Unfortunately, the French government surrendered on the 22nd of June, 1940. His superior military tactics, demonstrated in his victory at the Battle of Moncornet, and his book, The Army of the Future, as well as his 28 years of military experience prior to the Second World War, made Charles de Gaulle a key figure in defeating the Third Reich. Even though he was gaining support in France, he was constantly on the verge of losing support with the Allied powers, not only for his insistence of keeping full control of action, but also for what Churchill described as patriotic arrogance. These strained relations were understandable, as de Gaulle believed the British were going to take over French colonies, and with the betrayal of his own government, his demands can be seen as a precaution. But it also demonstrates his readiness to spring into action whenever the need is presented. As the liberation of France began, French forces were there and fought alongside the British and American troops. On August 20th, 1944, the 2nd Free French Armored Division liberated the French capital of Paris. On the 26th of that same month, gunfire erupted on de Gaulle's procession. More gunfire occurred as he entered the Notre Dame Cathedral, where he was to be received as head of the provisional government by the Committee of Liberation. Although his generals Leclerc and Koenig tried to rush him inside, de Gaulle simply walked with his posture straight and head held high. Later that same day, he gave his famous words on the continuity of the Third Republic at the Hôtel de Ville. His spirit only encouraged many Frenchmen to rebuild and keep fighting to free all of France. His refusal to sit on the sidelines and his refusal to show fear in the face of danger demonstrated his no-nonsense attitude and his determination to fight and never surrender. However, this freedom didn't come with a price, as the country began to collapse without a formal leadership. Charles de Gaulle, in an effort to save the Republic, went on a tour of the country, giving speeches and curbed the communist resistance that was underway. Having the full support of the people was the only way to recapture the rest of France, and de Gaulle understood this need. In May of 1945, the Germans surrendered to American and British forces, and an armistice was signed. Soon afterwards, in October of that same year, elections were held to decide the fate of the newly reunited motherland. De Gaulle campaigned for a strong executive branch, but faced resistance from other parties who wanted to restrict the powers of the presidency. Communists clashed with the socialists, de Gaulle, and the Popular Republican movement as to how long the assembly should be in power. However, only 2 months after taking charge of the government, de Gaulle stepped down because of the dominant Communist Party's interference in how he refused to put communists in any major positions. Despite the political divisions, de Gaulle was the glue that held the country together. In fact, it has at times been suggested that when Charles de Gaulle later returned to the presidency in the early days of the Fifth French Republic, he was the Fifth French Republic. Although he could be stubborn at times, he can easily be recognized today as the savior of France. It would have been possible for the Allies to secure France without a resistance to the motherland, and the voice of that resistance came from Charles de Gaulle.
Le gouvernement français a demandé à l'ennemi à quelles conditions honorables il pourrait cesser le combat. Il a déclaré, en outre, que la lutte devait continuer si ces conditions étaient contraires à l'honneur, à la dignité et à l'indépendance de la France. Nous avons été surpris et submergés par la force mécanique, la tactique de l'ennemi. Mais il y a malgré tout des raisons d'espérer. Croyez-moi, rien n'est perdu pour la France. Les mêmes moyens qui nous ont vaincus peuvent nous apporter la victoire. La France n'est pas seule. La France n'est pas seule. La France n'est pas seule. Elle peut faire bloc avec la Grande-Bretagne et disposer d'immenses réserves. La guerre n'est pas tranchée par la bataille de France. Toutes les fautes qui ont été commises n'empêcheront pas qu'un jour l'ennemi sera écrasé. Cela pourra se faire grâce à une force mécanique supérieure encore. Le destin du monde est là. Moi, Général de Gaulle, actuellement à Londres, j'invite les officiers et les soldats français qui se trouvent actuellement en Grande-Bretagne à se mettre en rapport avec moi. Ceci vaut également pour les ingénieurs et ouvriers spécialistes de l'armement qui se trouvent déjà en Grande-Bretagne ou qui viendraient à s'y trouver. Quoi qu'il arrive, la flamme de la résistance française ne doit pas s'éteindre et ne s'éteindra pas. Demain, comme aujourd'hui, je parlerai à la radio de Londres.
Thank you. That was very good. For taking a stand in the face of evil, Charles de Gaulle is known as the savior of France.